The surroundings were engulfed in fire, heat, and an incredibly terrifying atmosphere. Everything was burning. It seemed like a dreadful hell. A little girl stood there and said, "Please, help me." As the man reached out to touch the girl, she burned in the flames. Ha! The child vanished effortlessly. The man woke up in fear. It must have been a nightmare. I escaped. Wonderful, it was just a dream. Sitting in contemplation on his bed, the man said to himself, "No, enough. This dream was much more vivid than the last time. It felt as if I truly experienced the heat, her skin, her flesh." The man approached the mirror and looked at his reflection, grabbing a bottle that was next to it. It was as if he decided to reach for the bottle when suddenly a monstrous hand grabbed it, belonging to a creature reflected in the mirror. "Are you objecting?" the creature asked. "I'm speaking now," it shouted. "No amount of cheap alcohol will make me silent, Jason." The creature greedily started drinking the alcohol and then said, "Remarkable, as if the last 1500 years in our chains taught you nothing. This is only a temporary solution. There will always be a stronger panacea." The creature extended the bottle, surprising the man, who thought to himself, "My demon is my mirror, my reflection." A feeble drama, he thought. The creature responded, "I'm returning to you. Your ability to contain me within is deteriorating with every dream about that little girl. I adore this place, the fiery version of our home. The Valley of Death, a dark and terrifying night." The man, staring at his bottle, looked and pondered, "What is happening? What is this message? The answer is here. It must be here. It's tightened like a noose around my soul." He also heard the creature's final words, "Perfect, while you chase after these delicious nightmares, find us some fresh meat for your ghosts. Just don't forget that old nightmares never fade away." The man stared at himself in the mirror for a couple of minutes, then drank what remained in the bottle. It was a dark, dark night outside, and the only sound was that of a dark and very black motorcycle. The motorcycle arrived at the local bar late at night. The driver stopped and took off the helmet, revealing a brunette girl. "Damn, another vision of Etrigan and the child," the girl said. "This time it's painful, which means I'm close to the source of the vision. Which likely means the demon. And Jackson. I thought I'd prepare on the go, so to speak. Then I took a short break before the storm." Suddenly, a man approached the girl from behind. "Excuse me, miss," he said. "Zenata," she replied. "Yeah, whatever. It seems like you're mumbling something." "Is everything okay?" the passerby asked. "Yes, thank you." Spending a lot of time alone, you start reading a lot of monologues. "Now, if you'll excuse me," the girl didn't finish her sentence as the man grabbed her hand and said, "I prefer not to let you go. I'd rather you have a drink with me. Please." Sighing, the girl thought to herself and looked sadly at the man. In an instant, she felt an incredible surge of strength, grew furious, and delivered a powerful blow with her helmet straight to the man's head. The drunkard fell to the ground, and the girl asked, "Anyone else?" She received a response, "Certainly not." "He just wanted to have a drink, lady," the girl replied. "You don't need to be clairvoyant to see that it's not simple." The man on the ground retorted, "Bitch." The girl turned around and asked, "Bitch, huh?" "Well, okay." On a dark night, a car was driving with a large family inside. "You're behaving like a herd of donkeys," one of the parents replied. The children in the car were truly misbehaving. "Alicia is going crazy. We didn't do anything to John, honestly." "Quiet," the mother shouted. "Or I'll sew your mouths shut with your own shoelaces." Oh, the children replied. The father turned around to the back seat and asked, "Hey, sweetheart, did you have another dream?" Yes, but I didn't sleep. My head hurts now. I saw, the daughter replied. Another horned monster? The father asked. Yes, the daughter answered. Then you definitely slept, the father replied. Tomorrow we'll be at the hotel. Try to get some rest. A little more. No, I can't, Dad. Darling, you need some sleep, or else you won't be able to have fun. Remember, it was your idea, remember? Vacation in the Valley of Death. Passion and adventure, the daughter smiled in response. Just remember that nightmares don't harm you in reality. They end as soon as you wake up. They always go away. Promise? The daughter asked. I promise, the father replied. The same Jason sat at his house, drinking his favorite alcohol. The magic here is strong. I like it. And it is arriving. The man spoke to himself, but his words continued to come out of his mouth. Camelot, Gotham, even our previous city, Los Angeles. There's electricity everywhere. But only here, it feels like sitting on an electric chair. Just shut up. That ship sailed a long time ago and sank. I wonder, if I drive you crazy, will your mind split in two? Try it, and I'll never let you go. Empty threat. I haven't run in ages. How much longer will we stay in this magnificence? I wait. For what? I didn't venture this far for nothing. Something is bound to happen. The man looked closely at the sky and saw something fiery and immense. Right now. Do you feel it? He continued to gaze at the sky and saw an unidentified object hurtling towards him, burning intensely and of great size. It's real hell, real hell. Fire blazing all around, a massive rocket flying, and it lands right next to the man, causing a huge explosion and fire. A massive cloud of smoke and fire rose, and the sounds were so loud, set free. A passing family in a car noticed the massive smoke and fire. The children in the car were shocked, looking at it and screaming, "Mommy, Daddy," they were frightened. The biker woman on the black motorcycle also noticed, "I'm too late." The man doesn't understand what's happening. The man started talking to the smoke. It was some kind of dreadful spirit. Whatever it may be, death is unlikely to spare us. My form will give us a better chance. It's your trick. You know it's not me. So we'll perish in my form, our connection is inevitable. If you were waiting for destruction, you will find it now. The smoke or spirit demolished everything around. Rise, demon, the man shouted and stretched out his hands. At that moment, due to this incident, there was chaos in the city's government. Oh God! The test missile deviated from its course. Inside the missile office, there was great panic, everyone running back and forth. Experts were saying, radioactive fallout. We need to switch the payload. How is this possible? No word to the press, emergency response. Some kind of transformation occurred. Why didn't the self-destruct protocol work? Where is General Marks? Someone, find General Marks. The same general sat sadly in his office and talked to some master. Everything is ready, master, my God. In response to the phone call, he heard, "Don't address me like that, General." "I apologize, master. I simply never thought about the consequences of the order." "And why do you need it, servant?" "My plans, they're my plans." "Has everything necessary been loaded into the rocket?" As he spoke on the phone, the general began to burn alive. "Since childhood, I served you faithfully, I did everything you asked. I betrayed my world for you. I need your embrace, you promised." In response, he heard, "You will have them, in a way. Your usefulness is exhausted." End of communication. Everything around was engulfed in dark black smoke, and everything burned intensely. That same family in the car with children was fleeing from the burned-out vehicle. The parents were no longer there, but the children were still alive and desperately trying to escape death. They pleaded and begged for help. "Help us," they cried, but all they heard from these demons were the words, "Come back." The children ran away from the fiery spirits, and only a little girl from the family remained. This girl tried to escape from the evil hot spirits of fire or the demon. She ran and ran, stumbled, and fell, screaming loudly for help. Suddenly, a massive demon of fire appeared. It was Adrian. "I hate being interrupted," he said. The mighty and fearsome fire demon fought against the small fire spirits, who yelled back at him, "Deceptive deceivers." He replied, "Embraces are a terribly empty waste of time. And pointless, before the killer from hell. Yes, I am free. It's time for some fun. Change. I'm glad, but who is behind it all?" The evil demon heard the cries of the girl asking for help. He approached and extended his hand. "Sure, child, no problem." As a friend, a man who had been having those dreams appeared. He asked the demon, "Will you really kill the star of our visions?" "Impossible," the demon replied. "As for me, it seems a bit hasty. And it seemed to me that you no longer rhyme. I rhyme when I want to. Only with you, I'm silent." And the demon struck the man in the stomach with a powerful blow. But suddenly, the demon's hand passed right through the man, and he said, "Oh no." "Oh yes," the man replied. "Utterly futile. Now you are possessed by me. It seems that much has changed, my dear friend. Though, it seems to me that we can confidently assume that all this will not end well." And the demon disappeared from sight. There was a massive unidentified object protruding from the ground on Earth. The advanced team arrived at the scene by helicopter. "Advanced team on site, sir." They disembarked from the helicopter and began to survey the area. "No signs of radiation anymore. Confirm your data. Something definitely emanates from this structure. It seems to be expanding very slowly. Let's take a closer look." "Negative, too dangerous." The commander decided to approach closer. "All good, Commander. There is something pleasant emanating from it, but what about my dog?" "Not a step closer, soldier," ordered the commander to the soldier who was approaching the object. The soldier, upon touching the unidentified object, went completely mad. He abruptly turned around and opened fire on his entire team. The team lost communication. The radio called for reception. Anyone respond? Unfortunately, no one answered because no one remained alive. The main protagonist stood together with the demon, and they were discussing something. "Wait a second. Let me assess. Take a breath." The demon replied, "For the incorporeal, breathing doesn't matter. Completely immaterial." The demon blew fire from its mouth directly at the main protagonist, but it had no effect. Hope dies last. The demon and the main protagonist found themselves in an incomprehensible place, with everything burning around them. It resembled hell. "I know that with words, you won't return me to hell. If you could, my gaze would have long ago been satisfied with infernal landscapes." "What are you trying to say?" the man asked. He added, "And how would you name this site?" "Ha," the demon remarked fairly. "You said you had nothing to do with the bomb and that it's not your style. But no matter how our unbreakable bonds allow us to know each other, you still remain a citizen of the underworld." The demon replied, "Honesty is not one of my strong points. But have you ever doubted me? It doesn't matter anymore. The world has finally turned in the right direction. Of course, except for you." "That's also true," the man noted. And turning around, the demon looked at a little frightened girl. The wicked demon said, Everything has changed except for one little girl. The man stood in front of him and said, Etrigan, please listen. The demon walked past the man and said, in a world so beautifully destroyed, she is the anomaly. The man shouted back at him, she can provide answers. You can't keep me here for long, Jason. The man replied to him, you wouldn't dare. What a vision. The demon was getting closer to the girl. I'm not interested in these visions. You even smell different. Like an overripe fruit, the demon replied. Suddenly the man asked him, Etrigan, do you like dripping faucets? Dripping faucets? The demon asked, puzzled. No one likes dripping faucets, not even creatures from the underworld. What starts as a mere drop turns into a hammer, then a cannon, and so on. And if it keeps dripping on you again and again, torture, the kind you would applaud. Consider me as such a faucet, Etrigan, but instead of water, goodness flows through me, the man replied. And it's not about me, you and your actions have deprived me of this gift. However, I will tell you about every noble deed and all the kindness I have witnessed. I will treat you to all the beautiful altruistic and love-filled facts I know. The demon glared at the man maliciously and leaned in closer to his face. But the man continued, I will be your faucet against your forehead, drip, drip, drip. The demon became extremely angry and struck the man directly in the head. Do you think you can control me again? Do you believe you can tame me? Despite the blow, the man responded easily, we both know the effect you had when you weakened my mental barriers. You became my omnipresent, unstoppable voice, just like I am for you now. In short, are you leaving, or can I start with butterflies? Butterflies. The demon got scared. Your resilience knows no bounds. Well played. You have been a marvelous mentor, the man replied. The man leaned towards the little girl and asked, Girl, can you see me? Yes, I think so, she replied in a frightened voice. Tell me, what is your name? The man asked. My name is Xanadu, Madam Xanadu. Or no, the girl hesitated nervously. The demon became furious and rushed forward, saying, to me, they both sound like betrayal. You must. Without even turning around, the man stopped the demon and said, Butterflies, teddy bears, kittens. Stop pretending to be a rejected lover. We have both had enough time to forget about the days of demon nights. Looking at the frightened little girl, the man said, I apologize for the rudeness. I apologize for everything, truly. I promise I will do everything in my power to prevent any further harm to you. Can you tell me why you named yourself like that? The girl held her head, burst into tears, and said, That's not my name. I don't remember my name, but I know. I know where Xanadu is, in the Valley of Death. She's close. I will take you to her, the man told her. That evening, they all set off for the Valley of Death. As soon as they arrived, the demon said, This place suits me. The man replied to him, It lacks a bit of refinement. Saving a woman who abandoned us is like pulling our own teeth, said the demon. No one abandoned you, no one even loved you, replied the man. She's inside, she needs help, I think, said the girl. Are you curious about what's inside too? The man asked, posing a question. Enormous, terrifying spirits of the demon of hell surrounded us. There was a scent of fire and fear in the air, and an ugly voice could be heard saying, Drink with me. Hide, girl, quickly, shouted the man. Then he asked, Etrigan, are you okay? As much as it's possible for you. Oh, I'm fine, the demon replied. More than fine, actually. Hurry and find what you were looking for. A fierce battle between demons began. It was a fiery and intense fight. Etrigan was having fun during the fight. Oh, what a joy! There's a chance to play and rhyme for once. In a terrifying and eerie place, there was an extremely ugly woman. "Oh, there you are, poor lost soul. Come to me, I have been waiting for you for so long. Allow me to embrace you. You have come to listen to all these stories with me that will frighten you to death. Or is this game not for you? It's bad if that's the case because you're already here, my love. I am a scary witch. Nice to meet you." One beautiful day, in the dark of the night, stood a magnificent and beautiful house in the middle of the shore. There was some event taking place in this house, and it was very noisy and crowded. Wow, just wow, amazing. Screams could be heard. A lot of people gathered around a large table. One of the women at the table said she had never eaten anything more delicious in her life. One of the men at the table said, "Thank you for allowing me to share this wonderful evening with all of you. These excellent chefs whose services I chose at a charity auction were worth every penny. Note that it's all for a good cause, haha." All the chefs gathered in the kitchen and discussed something. Some were smoking, while others were just standing idle. One of the chefs was very upset. "Murd, all this murd," he said. "God, I hate such evenings. I'm afraid of such things, yes, I'm ready to admit it," said the chef. "But I can't stand things of this nature. There's something about this man." At that moment, everyone looked at him. "Do you feel something about this whole evening, Clara?" one of the chefs asked. "Yes, it's very scary," remarked the female chef. Another chef said, "I like this guy, he knows how to eat, and the wine is excellent. He has the soul of an old man, a Russian man. He's not ordinary, unusual for a Russian. Yes, there's something like that, sadness, pain. They say he has 6 billion in his account. Remember the phrase? Behind every wealthy person, there's a great crime, right?" asked the chef who was smoking a cigarette. Time went by, and the chefs continued discussing the situation. "What do you think he could have done to earn so much money? Do you even care?" the other chefs asked. "To be honest, I don't." At that moment, the head chef approached this man and said, "My restaurant is teeming with dictators, war criminals, thieves, despots. These people rule the world." Without much thought, the man replied, "All our restaurants are teeming with them, they're all wealthy people. Mr. Fidyachenko wants to see all of you, he wants to thank you for the dinner." The chefs all gathered around the table and the guests. The man at the table said, "Here they are, all the great chefs, gathered together, working together for one evening, one goal," and he pointed at the chefs. "Please have a seat. I know you're all very busy people, but I want you to know how grateful we are for your incredible efforts." And it's true. The man also asked, "Can I tempt you with aromatic cigarettes or unique expensive cognac?" Napoleon was still alive when they bottled this cognac. "I've kept it for a special evening. After all your hard work, I would like you to participate in a little entertainment. I hope you don't mind. Allow me to officially introduce Ichi-san, my physiotherapist. He will explain everything." Ichi-san began his speech. "Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my little nightmare. Haha. Have you ever heard of the samurai game of the Edo period? It was popular between 1603 and 1868. Warriors would gather together, first to feast, and then to play on their nerves. There was a huge terrifying room with skeleton masks and candles. 100 candles of courage. As night fell, the warriors gathered together. In the adjacent room, the candles were already lit. A mirror was placed on the table. The men took turns sitting in a circle and told stories of fear, ghosts, and werewolves. Tales of dreadful encounters with the supernatural, unexplainable events, about place and karma, all to instill fear in the hearts of their comrades and samurais. After finishing their story, the storyteller had to extinguish one candle and look into the mirror to ensure no evil spirit had possessed them, and then return to their friends. With each story told, the room became darker and darker, and the stories became scarier and more frightening. But when it came to the last, the 100th story, the frightened participants invariably stopped. They were too afraid to invoke the wrath of those terrifying spirits they might attract. Ha ha. Cowards, said the main man at the table. Come on, my brave friends. Play with me. I've been waiting all evening. Who will start? He asked. The story began. I will start with an instructive tale. Not everyone in this world has enough food. There are places where there are plenty of hungry spirits. Their ghosts are angry, their earthly affairs are unfinished. These spirits, they are the spirits of those who died of hunger. Hungry ghosts. Some people prefer to ignore them, others simply do not know. But ignorance is not an excuse, it will not save you. Perhaps you only see what is in front of you. Perhaps greed or selflessness in your work prevent you from seeing what lies beyond. The details that, in your opinion, don't matter, but actually mean everything. One evening, a terrifying man who resembled a homeless person entered one of the local cafes. I am so hungry, sir. Please, even leftovers will do, the homeless man requested. The bartender replied, I would gladly help, but there is nothing left. The homeless man continued, please, sir. I am starving. I haven't eaten anything for days. There must be something left that could save a life. The bartender looked into his eyes intently and replied, no, I'm sorry. I worked all day, and now we're closed. There is nothing left. The bartender's workday was over, he closed the cafe and headed home. On his way home, he heard eerie sounds. Sounds that, according to legends, are made by spirits, the clicking of bones and teeth. The bartender was genuinely frightened. He started running while looking back. He screamed and ran as fast as he could. He was almost at his house when his family saw him from the balcony. Wife, look, it's Daddy, the children exclaimed. He'll be surprised to see that we're still awake and waiting for him. But a dead spirit of a huge and terrifying skeleton appeared before the man. Out of fear, the man sat down and covered his ears from the horrifying sounds. The terrifying skeleton spirit yelled, you ignored my hunger, but now you will know. It grabbed the man with its enormous hands and crushed him into pieces in an instant. It was worth feeding me, said the skeleton and began devouring the man. Yes, it was worth feeding him. It was worth helping a person in need. The pirate story. One night, a ship sailed on a stormy sea. On board was a girl with a rose. Since our evening is turning into some kind of sausage party, I decided to add some variety and tell a story about women. Don't worry, there will be plenty of romance. Well, kind of. The sensual mad adventure of pirates on the open waters. Boys, you love pirates, don't you? I'm sure you'll enjoy this story. There was so much debauchery. The sea is vast, my friends, it is full of life, different creatures, known and unknown. There was a time when loose women were thrown into the sea as punishment for leading a lascivious life. They begged for mercy, but the pirates eagerly did it. Who knows what happened to them afterwards? The girl was out in the open sea, calling for help. Observing, the pirates discussed the situation. Let's save her and enjoy her later. Military trophies go to the victors. I'm sure there's a Latin phrase for such a situation. Ah, the pirate noted, it's called rape. They brought the promiscuous girl back to the ship, and many pirates surrounded her, all desiring her. I would love to kiss her lips, we should be the first. Oh no, you pigs, they argued. I'm fine, gentlemen, thank you for saving me. I was helpless and would have died soon. I am grateful to you for your generosity, the girl said. How grateful are you? Such a cutie, the pirates complained. Some of them haven't touched a girl in a long time, and some never have. The captain appeared and said, haha, my dear lady. Welcome aboard our humble vessel. As the captain, I would like to exercise my right of the first night, so to speak. Perhaps you would like to join me in the cabin? And then, I'm afraid, my boys could use some attention too, in one way or another. The girl replied, Captain, I wouldn't have been thrown into the open sea if I didn't understand the cruel realities of our world. It's a man's world for now. This ship is yours, and I am at your service. Yes, yes, quite right. Well said, the captain remarked. I apologize for the less than ideal conditions and for the behavior of my men. Naturally, I would prefer to keep you for my personal use. But you see them, if I don't give them what they want, all of them, it could lead to problems in maintaining order. That can be understood, the girl replied. I am strong and accustomed to all sorts of animalistic behavior. What did she just say? The crowd of pirates was astonished. The girl responded, well then, let's get started. The pirates went crazy, shouting to be the first. The captain took the girl's hand and led her into the cabin. In a romantic atmosphere, he lowered his pants to please the lady. She discovered that he was quite small, but he said, maybe you find it funny now, my dear, but soon it won't be a laughing matter. Damn it, my balls. She bit off my balls, the captain yelled. In the cabin, a queue had already formed to get to the lady. Come on, let's finish with these dirty bastards. Oh God, do any of you even know what soap is? You stink as if you rolled in fish guts. And I happen to like the smell of guts, love it, a disgusting pirate replied. Ouch. That hurt, what have you done to me? Another pirate screamed. The girl bit off the main dignity of each of them. The girl transformed into a monster and laughed, ha ha. Want your balls back, my darlings? Your precious and clearly tiny balls, your treasures. Give back the plundered goods in return, spineless cowards. Pitiful, hopeless men, ha ha. The girl looked into the mirror to calm down. Around the table, everyone glanced at each other. The main event's organizer said, I thought our stories should be related to food. It's still to come, the girl answered, the cook. The story of the salty horse. I end that same dreadful room, surrounded by candles and masks. The participants gathered. A man holding a candle said, I'm joining the game and addressing everyone. I just reproached my colleague for her story, saying it wasn't about food. Mine, on the contrary, is all about it. It happened in Spain between the world wars. Nevertheless, horse meat is still prepared and eaten throughout Europe and elsewhere. On the table, there was a dish with eyes as delicacies, marvelous. After trying the dish, the man said, not enough salt, needs more salt. It didn't turn out great. Maybe it's not the season or it's the sauce. In any case, it's completely unacceptable. Calling the cook to the table, the man said, you need to improve the sauce somehow. Let it be mushroom. Perhaps the combination of acidity and vegetal notes will slightly enhance the taste of the dish. One day, while walking to his herd of horses, the man stood and watched them with the farm's owner. The man said, bring me this one, give me this one. What a stallion. Excellent muscular structure, so healthy. The meat must be marbled too. The farmer replied, but, patron, this is our best working horse. Do you really want to eat him? Yes, I do. How many horses do I have left? Not many, the farmer answered. As it used to be, you've already eaten most of them. Perhaps you should consider switching to sheep or goats, or other livestock that you have plenty of on your land. The boss replied, there's something special about horse meat. I crave it. I just can't stop. Sitting at the table, the man devoured his horse dish. Horse tartare is one of his favorite meals. Grilled ribs, tongue, and brain. And for dessert, a delicious boiled horse head with garnishes. The next evening, the boss got hungry again and went out with the farmer to choose a horse for dinner. The farmer informed him, there are no more horses left. That was the last one. You don't have any horses left. All those racehorses, stallions, and broodmares. You even ate the foals, there's no one left. The man felt disappointed, so there's absolutely none left? There's one, the farmer replied, pointing at a horse in the distance. An old war horse, ancient and skinny. There's no point even mentioning it. You surely don't want to eat him. Bring him to the table, the boss said. Braise him in red wine and add some wild mushrooms. I love wild mushrooms. Wild mushrooms are the best. The boss enjoyed his dinner. He devoured everything like a wild animal and then jumped on the table to finish whatever he could find. And tomorrow it will be horse carpaccio. Having eaten his fill, he decided to go to sleep. He had a very disturbing dream. In front of him stood a huge, angry horse that spoke, "I've witnessed you taking my friends, my family, one by one, to satisfy your appetite, and I allowed it because you humans are the masters of this dreadful world. Who am I to oppose the harshness of natural order? You castrate us, saddle our backs, use us in sports, and to kill our own kind. And you, boss, your hunger is wrong. It's time to deal with your hunger. Why do you torment me, foolish apparition? You're just stinking animals, your lunch," replied the boss. The wild creature attacked. "I am but a spirit, yet my flesh is your flesh. My flesh resides within you, and I have come to reunite with a part of you. Tell me, do you still find me appetizing?" The chef who was narrating interjected, "Just so you know, I'm not blaming poor Chubby. From time to time, I indulge myself with horse tartare or sausages. And there's no need to remind you how this man suffered from his sin in his final days. He was agonizing, in my opinion. And when the creature left him, he was finally freed from his sin. It's a lesson for all of us in a sense." The story begins on a cold, cloudy, rainy day when a bus was traveling with prisoners and officers. Suddenly, the bus completely lost communication. The GPS signal went out. The officers were unable to establish contact with the prison to confirm the end of the journey. "Marshal, do you think this is due to the storm?" asked a police officer. "Perhaps. It seems the storm decided to play with the wires. Although I've never encountered anything like this before," replied the partner. The head of the operation ordered to restore the communication within the bus. The weather was so terrible that even the telephone signal was not catching. The prison guards began to suspect something during the long bus stop. "Hey, man, something seems off. These cops seem worried about something." "Do you think something happened?" asked one of the inmates to his cellmate. "What's the matter, Frankenstein? Are you deaf?" "Hey, what's going on?" shouted one of the guards loudly to attract attention. "Shut your mouth, Brixton," said the guard. The police were in the same bus with the terrifying criminals. The horrible weather and thunderstorm added to the tense situation. Suddenly, all the lights went out in the entire bus. "Damn, where did the light go?" "Oh, it seems they escaped," one of the prisoners exclaimed. "Is this a joke?" "Stay calm," said the chief police officer. At that moment, they saw a silhouette of a person in front of the bus. "Look," said one of the police officers. Suddenly, chaos erupted, and the bus was almost overturned. The inmates were attacking the police. One prisoner managed to escape the bus, but was soon caught by the chief of security. There were not many survivors, only the strongest ones remained. The chief asked his subordinate, "How are you feeling after that punch to the jaw?" "I'm fine. You see, my skin just tried to stop his escape by attacking his leg," the subordinate replied. "It sounds complicated, but you need to train more," the chief replied. "The driver is gone." "Damn, what about the others?" "They're gone too. Only 3 police officers remain." One of them reported, "It's absolutely safe inside the bus. Nobody was seriously hurt, but they're really getting on our nerves." The chief gave the order to gather all the weapons they had and be prepared. "I noticed that the sheriff is scared. We'll probably have to hang out here for a while with the most dangerous state criminals. The nearest town is several kilometers away. If we tow these guys, it will take longer to get there. We could wait here until help arrives," the police officer said nervously. "These guys need to be locked up," the boss confidently replied. "Well then, we definitely won't stay here," his partner responded. The police officers lined up all the criminals in a row in the clearing. The chief police officer said, "All right, let's tow this locomotive to the station. Keep your eyes open, stay calm and composed."
It will be done, sir, the guard replied. One of the deputies was not happy with the situation and said, "Why isn't anyone nervous? We're transporting the most dangerous criminals in the country." Male, if there's one thing you should know when working with the marshal, it's that when he's around, you don't have to worry at all, his partner replied. Listen up. We're leaving here. Maintain order, behave quietly, and pretend to be nice. And if that doesn't happen, I'll have to take measures that you'll surely regret, the boss said. And what are you going to do, you monkey? Said one of the prisoners. Oh, I see we have some clever ones here. All right then, watch carefully. Do you see this handle? No? Then you'll definitely notice it in your eye. With a sharp strike, the boss hits the prisoner's face with the handle, causing him to fall to his knees and curse. The police officers were shocked by the boss's actions. You talked about composure. Why did you do that to him? One of the police officers asked. What are you talking about? It was damn composed, the boss replied. The police continued to lead the column of prisoners. In front of them, they saw a view of an old, seemingly abandoned house. I'll be surprised if anyone lives in this house. It's too quiet here, the policeman said. Is that the first thing that comes to your mind? The boss asked. Gather these guys together, but in a way that they're not very noticeable. We need a phone and information about the nearest town. The police started directing the crowd into the yard of the house and arranging them inconspicuously. Keep an eye on the formation, the supervisor shouted. The police officers headed towards the entrance of the house. Try not to scare the owner of the house, the boss said. I don't think there will be any problems, the police officer replied. The police burst into the house. It's probably empty. Do you smell that? The boss asked the police officer. Is anyone in the house? The boss shouted loudly. This is the federal police. After a while, the police officer called the boss and showed him his discovery in the house. What's in there? The boss asked. There's a box of country fireworks. Meanwhile, outside, the prisoners were already exhausted and discussing how tired they were. Hey, we're damn tired, and we're hungry. Is there anything to eat around here? One of the prisoners asked. Maybe you should shut up, another prisoner heard in response. A small commotion arose among the cellmates. You two, shut up right now, the supervisor ordered. At that moment, the prisoners caught sight of a small, terrifying zombie girl. The prisoners were shocked and frightened. What the hell is that? She doesn't even have a whole piece of flesh, one prisoner supported fearfully. During the search of the house, the police discovered a very dirty bed. While the boss was inspecting the bed, a zombie guest awaited him at the door. Chaos erupted outside as everyone watched the zombie girl attentively. She's strange, damn strange. Let's get out of here, someone said. But we can't. We're handcuffed. Hey, boss, the prisoners shouted. Do something. Meanwhile, the supervisor panicked. The girl suddenly attacked one of the guards. Everyone around was scared. She's trying to eat him. Oh, she wants to eat him. One of the guards volunteered to destroy the zombie girl. He swung at her and delivered a powerful blow. Oh my God, this is wrong. He destroyed her forever. Witnessing this scene made him sick. At that moment, the guard noticed something in the distance. Without hesitation, the officer rushed into the house with his weapon and shouted, "Marshal!" He saw the zombie attacking with the marshal in one of the rooms. Oh, God, boss. Save him, help me, the boss pleaded for assistance. Hey, you. Get away from him, damn it, or I'll open fire, the officer yelled. Shoot, quickly, get rid of him. Hurry, the boss urged. The officer swiftly eliminated the zombie with a shot. That was a zombie, Peter. Why did you hesitate for so long before shooting? What got into you? The boss asked. Peter silently led the boss to fresh air, to a safe place. The guard was in shock. The homeowner attacked him. Something terribly frightening is happening there, something very incomprehensible. A deranged boy or something. Maybe he's just wild? Yes, the boss replied. I also think something sinister is happening with this house. The officer noticed a girl on the floor in the distance from the prisoners. Oh, my God, what is that? One of the prisoners said, Hey, man, this zombie girl is your smallest problem. The problem is that she bit you. And so what? One cellmate asked. Open your eyes, dude. You saw the zombie girl yourself. The police say something similar was happening in the house, another replied. And what does it matter? Stop babbling. What's your point anyway? The first one retorted. Don't you understand? Haven't you watched zombie movies? The second one asked. Oh, for God's sake, you believe in those movies, haha, he replied mockingly. The prisoners began arguing among themselves. Hey, you, do you really want your belly ripped open? Interesting, with what? Your dignity? If you haven't noticed, we're handcuffed, fool. The frightened prisoners carefully examined the girl's body and discussed the situation. Quiet, guys, quiet, one of the police officers intervened. Morris, does it matter that the marshal got bitten? He'll turn into one of them. You get bitten, and there you are, just like the dead, Morris replied. Oh, come on, zombies? How can you believe in this children's nonsense? We all saw it, and we've done things worse than this, another prisoner chimed in. Have you seen it yourself? I know what I saw. Yes, she was clearly not herself. Yes, it's all very strange. But zombies? Are you dumb? By this time, the boss was feeling worse, he was losing energy. The police officer noticed the boss's weakness and helped him stay on his feet. The prisoners were shocked when they saw this. Damn, dude, I told you he was turning into one of them. Look at him. You have to knock him out. Knock him out before he knocks all of us out. Morris, shut your mouth. The boss's condition worsened, and the guard couldn't keep him standing. Hey, boss, can you hear me? Don't fall asleep. Either way, the police officer deserves this, one prisoner laughed. Hey, you, shouted the police officer who was supporting the boss. He heard the boss growling. As he turned around, he saw the boss zombie. The boss attacked the police officer and started choking him with his hands. The prisoners were horrified. Wow, Morris, you were right. They turn into zombies. This is intense. The zombie battle continues as he desperately tries to eliminate the police officers. The zombie has great strength, making it very difficult for one police officer to handle him. But in a brief moment of freedom, the officer managed to draw his gun and fire a series of shots. He destroyed him, no more boss zombie. So that not a single word comes out of your filthy mouth again, the police officer said roughly. Good boy, someone shouted from the crowd of prisoners. Hey, you! Stop resting. We're heading to the city. People need to know about this before it spreads beyond the farm. But more importantly, we'll be safe there. After the prisoners and the police arrived at the farm, they saw a bunch of zombies. They were all local farm residents. But we're not going there, right? No way. Let's go around, that way we can set up mines in the city. We definitely need a vehicle. There's a truck over there, but there are a bunch of zombies nearby. The prisoners kept complaining. I don't want them to figure out we're here, it's too dangerous. We need to scout the area first. Maybe we'll wait until it gets dark. Hopefully, they won't be able to see in the darkness. These zombies are capable of a lot. At that moment, one of the imprisoned inmates turned into a zombie after being bitten. The prisoners panicked. He's one of them. Get these handcuffs off us. The zombie started attacking the prisoners and devouring them. The infected numbers kept growing. Everyone, step back, ordered the police officers. Without hesitation, an officer shot the zombies and destroyed them. Oh God, they're everywhere, one of the prisoners shouted. You need to free us from the handcuffs quickly. We can't move while we're restrained. It's a matter of life and death. The zombies are right nearby. Despite the situation, the police officers decided to release the prisoners from their handcuffs. Stay together. We'll be able to find shelter in the city. The police, along with the prisoners, continued moving towards the city. They defended themselves with their weapons against the terrifying, aggressive zombies who treated them very harshly. I'm here, Mike. Don't let them surround you. Keep moving. The police officers accurately shot at the zombies. The story about a girl named Kate. She was very cute, born with a pair of magical eyes that allow her to see ghosts. Together with her best friend Lena, they become involved in a conspiracy, investigating the case of a missing high school student. What is the mission of the mysterious character? Kate was a very pleasant and beautiful girl. She dressed stylishly and looked better than everyone else. On her birthday, the girl went to her friend's place to receive congratulations from her. Dear Kate, congratulations on your day, on your 16th birthday. These flowers are for you, the flower of the elder. It protects and drives away evil spirits, as well as brings good luck. Thank you so much, Lena. In an instant, the sunny beautiful day turned into a horrifying gloomy evening with strong winds. What has happened? Kate asked. The flowers in the girl's hands suddenly withered. Lena replied, the power has weakened. The two worlds are merging into one. Kate, I have to go. Wait, where are you going? A very scary entrance to another dimension appeared before the girl's eyes, and her friend followed right into it. Kate followed her. What is this? She carefully looked around. The road was very strange, and a withered bouquet lay on the floor. What place is this? The girl wondered, but continued moving forward. In the distance, there was a silhouette of a person. This person was wearing a dark black cloak and had a huge hat on their head. As the girl bent down to pick up the bouquet, the person in the cloak turned and said, "Such a beautiful gift, you better not lose it." The girl decided to go further. I'll go ask the ferryman, maybe he knows what this place is. At that moment, a guy named Mason grabbed her hand. He was the enigmatic man. This is the road to the underground world. Once you enter there, you can't go back. I have this eternal lamp in my hands. I will light the way back with it. Thank you. Who are you? Kate asked. You will find out in the future, the guy replied. A glowing butterfly flew towards the shining lamp. It was a spiritual butterfly, a unique butterfly that can only be seen in the underground world. It's getting late, and it's time for you to leave. It will show you the way. You must return before the phantom hold disappears, otherwise, you'll be stuck here forever. I understand, Kate replied. This is the underground world? How did I end up here? The girl thought. In any case, she had to get out of this cursed place. In the distance, the girl saw an exit, and there it was, the exit. Great, she finally made it. The girl headed towards the exit, but at that moment, something grabbed her leg. Ouch! It was a ghost, but the girl managed to escape back home. The girl sat down and discussed the situation with her friends. The mysterious stranger in black clothing asked me to deliver this letter to you. He said you would understand and that it's up to you to uncover the truth. Otherwise, we will all be destroyed. The girl opened the letter and heard her friend say that the letter was frightening. It was a letter from a ghost. What does this letter say? The friend asked. It mentions March 7th at 6:45. The soul of a dark raven will return to the desolate valley. What could it mean? Asked the friend. This sentence refers to a place, replied Kate. If I understood correctly, the desolate valley should be near the forest at the source of the river. As for the last two sentences, everything should be as that person said. It is my destiny to uncover the truth. Otherwise, we will all be destroyed. It's already March 7th, and we have little time. Kate asked her friend, will you help me? Her friend replied, of course. March 7th arrived very soon. The girl poured something into a small piece of paper and wrapped it. On this day, the girls headed into the forest, the very forest near the river's source. They wandered through the forest to discover something. Black crows were flying around them, cawing loudly. "How annoying these crows are," the girls exclaimed. Kate handed the girl the piece of paper she had wrapped in the morning. "Here it is." "Red kidney beans? Why are you giving them to me?" asked the friend. "In ancient times, it was believed to be an amulet, said to possess a magical ability to ward off ghosts." "Oh, you know so much," replied the friend. "Not really," said the friend, "but let's go already. It's almost dark." The girls continued forward, further into the forest. When they emerged from the forest, they saw a magnificent house standing not far from the woods. This must be the place, the girls decided without much thought. They knocked on the door. After a while, the door opened, and an old lady with a lantern came out. The girls were terrified of her. "Who are you?" asked the old lady. "We're classmates. My name is Kate. We were asked to find out the truth." "The letter says that we can only learn the truth here," explained the girl. "Well, since you've come inside," said the old lady and led the girls into the house. She took the letter in her hands, looked at it, and then said, "I don't know anything about this letter." The girl thought the old lady was lying, so she decided to ask what this old lady actually knows. "All right, girls, let's talk about it when the other guests arrive. By the way, you can call me Grandma. I'm the housekeeper here." A guy from the world of ghosts descended the stairs. The girl saw him and said, "It's you." He replied, "Welcome." Grandma spoke up, "It seems like they already know each other. This gentleman is a descendant of a fortune teller. That's why I asked him to come and help me." The girl was puzzled. It was already a dark night outside, and it was raining. Another guest entered the house, a beautiful girl. "Terrible weather, such a downpour," she said after coming inside and seeing the rest of the girls. "It seems someone beat me here." She was a 20-year-old college student. A 22-year-old student from the sports faculty also arrived at the house and said to the girl, "Long time no see. And you're here too?" The girl replied, "Yes, it's me." Grandma said to them, "Please, come in and make yourselves comfortable." Another guest arrived by car, a 21-year-old wealthy man. Upon entering the house, he exclaimed, "Damn it, the whole car is covered in dirt." As he entered the foyer with all the guests, he was surprised, asking, "Who are all these people?" "They are our friends," replied Grandma. "Someone is still missing here," said the guy. Another girl, a 21-year-old college student, entered the house. "Sorry, I'm late. It seems everyone who was on that trip is here. And now, tell me, what did she say before her demise?" Grandma began speaking. "Living in the city of Fuchsia with wealth, by the royal water palace, there are ripples, tens of thousands of red lanterns, and thousands of people. The choir sings a song, waving their hands. What does this riddle mean?" The guests were outraged. "I didn't come here to listen to this nonsense. Enough. It's been 7 days since she disappeared." "Keep yourselves together," said one of the girls. "Don't show off," replied another girl. "And since we're on the topic, you secretly had a crush on her." "Shut up. It's a poem by a Chinese poet, a bamboo branch song. The events are becoming more interesting." "What is this poem about?" "It speaks of the secret place of the great Tuzia people." Yes, the others confirmed it. The bait show of the Huayan province originated from sacrificial religion. The Tuzia people respected their ancestors and honored their elders. That's why they invented the bait show, to remember their heroic deeds and be inspired for new achievements. "Don't rush," said Grandma. "Wait a bit. She said that the ghost returns at night. She will tell everything herself." "What do you mean?" asked the guy in the room. "Please be patient and wait," replied Grandma. "It's already late. I've prepared food for you," said Grandma. "I don't have an appetite." "I'll go rest in the guest room," said one of the girls. "Please wait in the dining room," Grandma told the girl. "Thank you, Grandma," the girl replied. The friend started suspecting something eerie, and Grandma's behavior was strange too. She said she would tell them everything herself. Well, doesn't she exist at all? Maybe this girl is not even human, said one of the friends, thinking too much. You're overthinking it, replied her friend. Just as Grandma approached them, Grandma brought food. It was a table filled with beautifully luxurious dishes. I apologize for the long wait, Grandma said. Wow, it looks delicious, the girls exclaimed as they quickly sat down at the table. Make yourself at home, there's plenty to eat, Grandma told them. I'll start, said Kate, one of the friends. Such a hearty dinner you have. Weren't you on a diet? The diet can wait, but not my stomach, she replied. The other guests also sat down at the table. When everyone was seated, someone heard a very loud scream. They all gathered and wondered what had happened. The sound came from that very room, and everyone approached a large closed door. Step aside, said a guy from another world, and kicked the door with his foot. Everyone in the room was surprised to see a girl lying on the floor, clearly unwell and possibly drugged. The girl had a strange insect on her. Insects are attacking her, one of the guys said. Step back, said the guy from the other world. Living harmony with the earth and the heavens, he applied his superpower. Fire surrounded them, flames growing larger. The temperature started to rise. And it stinks, one of the girls commented. He used his yellow magic pentagram to defeat them. It seems this guy is an unusual person. This unusual person started examining the girl's body. Magic was used here, he concluded. Screw the truth, I'm out, one of the guys snapped. Wait, another guy stopped him. Pull yourself together. Grandma said, no one is escaping. The curse is active, and we will all be destroyed. The unusual person ordered them to follow him. As the guy was leaving, he said, she's already gone. Damn this blackmailer. One girl still decided to stop him. She said, if you don't want your father to find out that you embezzled his 300 million yuan, it's better for you to transfer 5 million to my account within 3 days. The guy was surprised. So boldly resorting to blackmail, huh? I worked for you for a long time, and I deserve a reward, the girl replied. Besides, your father publicly acknowledged his illegitimate child. I'm afraid you might lose your status as the eldest son. The guy got into his car and was about to leave, thinking she's already gone, and no one can blackmail me. Ha ha. He accelerated to leave as soon as possible when suddenly the brakes stopped working. Oh no, the brakes failed. He lost control and crashed directly into a tree, causing an explosion. The burning car and massive fire were raging. The guy was still alive in the car, screaming for help. I don't want to fall asleep. This person deceived me, he shouted. Oh no, how could this happen? One of the guest guys was surprised by the events. Then, once again, unusual events started to occur. Crows attacked one of the guest girls. They even managed to scratch her shoulder and tear her jacket. Kate told her friend, quick, throw the beads at the crows. All right, her friend obeyed. She threw the beads at the crows, and they got scared of the amulet and flew away. The unusual guy also came to help. He climbed up a tree and discovered the leader of the crows, a bewitched crow. He drew his sword and was prepared. He used his superpower against all the crows, and they vanished. At that moment, a zombie girl appeared from nowhere. She was very scary and powerful. Kate was terrified. Stay away from me, she pleaded. What an exquisite power, the zombie woman said to her. Be a good girl and let me eat you. Damn it, stuck with this cursed ghost again. I can't breathe, the girl said fearfully. The zombie woman approached her face and said, if I eat you, I'll become stronger. Kate thought she didn't really want to be eaten by a ghost. The girl tried to regain her composure. Stay calm, the most important thing is to breathe deeply. It will pass, just like last time, she thought. Opening her eyes, the girl felt reborn. Her eyes were shining and sparkling, and an incredible superpower surrounded her. The zombie woman was frightened and said, "This is the power of the spirit, Hitomi." The next morning, the girl woke up in her own bed at home, with a terrible headache. "I had a strange dream," she thought. She saw a big bruise on her leg. The dream was real. Oh no, I'm running late for class. The girl stood up and started getting ready quickly. In the morning, she arrived at the educational institution for her lessons and sat at her desk. She was very bored, so she took out her phone and messaged her friend, Lena. "Lena, come with me after school. I'll show you something interesting." When the end of class bell rang, the girls met. "Kate, I'm so glad to see you. Where are we going?" "I can't wait to find out." "You'll find out when we get there," replied Kate. The girl led her friend to a railway track. "Isn't this an abandoned railroad?" "Is this the place you wanted to show me?" asked Lena. "This is the very place. Let's explore together now that we're here. Now tell me, why are we really here? I have a strange feeling. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. Although, maybe it is. I heard that a few days ago, someone encountered a ghost near this abandoned railroad." "So, you want to catch a ghost tonight?" asked Kate. "Well, I'm the daughter of the police chief. I came here to investigate the case. And I also think this ghost is connected to a student from our school who disappeared 3 years ago. Although we didn't interact with her, I feel sad now. Since we're here, let's look around and see if we find any clues. Let's go quickly." Kate froze and was very scared. Her friend asked, "Hey, are you afraid?" "We need to leave here as soon as possible," said the girl. "Don't worry, I have a black belt in Taekwondo." "You're the only one who's afraid," replied Kate. As the girls walked along the railway, they saw the silhouette of a woman in black. "Is that the same woman from the dream?" asked Kate. Her friend was very surprised and frightened. "This woman, maybe she's a ghost in a white dress." "I'm getting too obsessed. Ghosts don't appear in broad daylight." "No, I agree with you," Kate supported her. They noticed dark stains on the woman's clothes. Lena decided to approach the woman in white and ask if she knew anything. Kate screamed, "Don't go there." Her friend stood on the tracks and watched them closely. Suddenly, a train appeared, speeding directly toward the girl. "Oh no, Linnea," shouted Kate and ran to save her friend. She jumped under the train, thus saving Lena. The girl gradually regained consciousness, but the ghost of the girl in the white dress was very close. In that moment, the girls saw the train hit the ghost girl in white. Lena was scared. "This is not a coincidence. Let's call the police. But first, let's get out of here." "Wow, the corpse of that woman disappeared," said Lena. She had very little strength left, and it felt like she was losing it. "Get up," her friend helped her stand up. She couldn't stand. Apparently she sprained her leg. "Give me your hand, I'll help you," said Kate. "Be careful." The girls, helping each other, headed home. At one point, they noticed a dense fog around them. "Hey, have you noticed that the fog has appeared? This place is quite strange. We need to get back home quickly. The exit should be nearby." The girls realized that they had returned to the same place from where they started their journey. Lena stared intently into the fog and saw a few more ghosts. She was frightened. Kate said, "We have no other choice, let's take a look." The girls discovered a tunnel, but there was clearly something wrong with it. They had no other options to go there. "Lena, do you trust me?" "Of course." "Then jump on my back. Close your eyes for a few minutes, and under no circumstances open them, no matter what happens." "Oh, you've become so heavy." "Not at all, you're just being dramatic," replied her friend. "Are you ready?" Kate asked. "We're going out." On their way, amidst the black, terrifying ghosts, the girls encountered a little boy. He muttered the same thing, "Sister, will you play hide-and-seek with me? Maybe you can pretend to be a ghost and look for me?" Behind the boy, a silhouette of a monster appeared.